We live in a time where people are worried about their children. What with increased isolation, more time engaged with technology than real-world relationships, as well as depression and mental health issues, children growing up in today's world face serious challenges that other generations did not.
Yeah, and it's actually a strange paradox that's been noted in many places. While materially, many children are better off than in previous generations, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, they're often in a worse place.
In light of that, we're going to spend the next few videos talking about raising children in community, specifically the Bruderhof, how children fit into the communal life, what it's like raising a family in this kind of environment, because the care and education of the whole child is integral, maybe even central, to the Bruderhof's mission. So alongside a strong academic program, our schools favor arts and crafts, time spent in nature, interdisciplinary studies, and child-led learning.
It's very true. And we're motivated to this, for the most part, by the teachings of Jesus, who pointed to children as examples of the type of people who would inherit the kingdom. But I think, even without the religious perspective, it's also just glaringly obvious that the world stands or falls in how it welcomes or fails to welcome children.
Yes, and Bruderhof founder Eberhard Arnold spoke of the specific task of the communal life to give children an education and preparation for a life open to the influence of God's Spirit. He also spoke about the community not being an institution, but really just a big family, which is how I like to think about it.
It's very true. But having said that, we should be clear that the family unit of mother and father and children really are the building blocks of the community, and they need to be a healthy and functioning unit in and of themselves in order to contribute and be a part of the larger community. So because of that, families in the Bruderhof are supported in countless ways.
And we're going to be talking about those ways in a later video, so stay tuned for that as well. We're also going to talk about influences on Bruderhof educational philosophy, or pedagogy, one of my favorite words.
It's a great word.
Those influencers include people like Heinrich Pestalozzi, Friedrich Froebel, my personal favorite. I actually worked at the school that he founded in Germany, which was unforgettable. We're also going to be talking about Friedrich Wilhelm Förster, a lot of Friedrichs going on, who was actually a personal friend of Eberhard Arnold. And then, of course, the influence of our own educationalists, teachers who joined at later times in our history and really built the fabric of our system.
And what's interesting, if you look at our schools, is that it's actually in the context of community that the vision of someone like Friedrich Froebel is more completely realized than he was ever able to achieve, because you have the close integration of all aspects of life, family, work, and education. If you look at Froebel's educational philosophy, he often considers this notion of harmonious wholeness, this concept of the unity of body and soul and intellect. And this harmonious wholeness can happen, and it happens in an amazing way in community. So it's in an educational environment where whole child education happens naturally.
Yes, and it's in an environment where fraternal love is the motivator as opposed to individualism and property, actually selfishness. So it's in this educational environment which community creates that a child's qualities can flourish and be encouraged, because everyone, parents, educators, and even the children themselves are all a part of the process.
Of course, we should be clear, it's not a utopia. Kids here can have the same behavioral problems as anywhere else. And as a parent myself, I can assure you that parental failings are as common in community as in the world at large. That said, though, what I appreciate most about raising kids here is that both the communal environment and the other members of the community are a strong positive influence on my children, which is not a given everywhere else.
Of course. And there will always be things that could be improved upon, speaking from personal experience. But I think the attitude of children first and honoring the child nature or the childlike spirit is really baked into the DNA of the Bruderhof, which is something those of us who grew up on the Bruderhof are quite thankful for.
Yeah, we're very thankful for, and if you would ever visit one of our communities, you would see how central the educational community is to our life together and how many resources are poured into our children. So that's it for this video. We'll be coming back with more videos where we talk about the more about the educational philosophy of the Bruderhof, and then we'll possibly even interview a Bruderhof teacher. And it's going to be interesting. So please make sure, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, do so that you can be notified when we post the next video. Thanks for watching.